Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Okay, I think we sound good. All right, welcome back to another video. It's your boy AJ Breezy back again with another video. I am enjoying making this content. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you like the videos, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way for your boy just starting out, but I am loving the community, loving the comments. Thank you guys so much for engaging. And yeah, I'm gonna keep being here creating these videos for you guys. All right, so this topic that I want to talk about today is what are you afraid of? Y'all see it in the title of the video. We're gonna talk about fears, and we're gonna talk about addressing it as a man and overcoming them. Um, I don't know any human that doesn't feel the feeling of fear, right? Or that doesn't have something that they're worried about, something that they could become anxious about, right? We all fear, just not having things, right? We just fear just not having stuff, like whether it be resources, whether it be people in our life to support us. Not having resources can be bad. Food insecurity, money insecurity, these problems generate a lot of fear within a lot of people, right? I have a couple fears that I've had in my life that I had to face. I'll start with some basic stuff and then we can get a little bit deeper. But a big question and a big theme that I'm going to ask y'all to think about is, what are you afraid of? What are you running away from? What are you afraid of addressing? What is that thing that keeps you up at night? What is that one thing that if it happened in your life, you would feel like, wow, like this would destroy me. This would be my end, right? When I was younger, I used to have like irrational fears of the dark, right? And it wasn't necessarily the dark that scared me. I think most people can resonate with this. It's just the unknown of what's in the dark, right? And the only way to really overcome fears at times is to really just face them head on and address them. Ways that I overcome my fears as a child was just sitting in rooms that were dark, right? Just sitting in it for a minute at a time. A room just dark, me in there, black man, dark. All you see is my eyes, right? But just adjusting to the darkness, right? And accepting it, because there's nothing you could do. The thing that you're afraid of, if it was to happen, right, what can you do to change it? Like, obviously you can mitigate things and try to stop things, put up blockades from things happening. But at the end of the day, there's so many things in our life that we cannot control. So why even stress about it, right? Another fear that I had, right, was being alone. The fear of just not ever having a relationship, right? And honestly, sometimes the relationships are more scary than even just being single. Sometimes, right? But I'm in it now, right? I'm 28 years old. As you guys know from my previous videos, I live alone and I do everything alone. That's fine, right? I've been living alone for a year, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. It was something that I was so afraid of, being single, being alone, not having my friends around. But my friends show up. They still hang out with me. I've had my friend over my apartment, was whooping them in Smash Bros, having a good time, right? And I addressed that fear. And what became of it? I'm happier, right? I don't have that on my mind anymore. It's not something I'm always overthinking about. Like, oh, wow, like I got to go out and try to meet someone because what if I'm just alone forever, right? That may happen, but it's okay. I'll be fine no matter what, because I live a fulfilling life. I do things that are fun for me. I help other people. I mentor people. My life is full already. I'm going to be okay, even if I don't have someone in the background, a romantic partner of such, right? A topic that's a little bit deeper that was kind of harder for me was just processing unhealed trauma, right? That was something I was always afraid of, just running from. I didn't want to sit in therapy because I knew they were going to ask me uncomfortable questions. I knew they would try to dig deeper into my past, right? Because a lot of our things that's happened to us in our childhood and our past, they shape who we are in the present. And if you fail to learn about your history, you're doomed to repeat it, right? And a lot of cycles I went through in my life and a lot of experiences I've had in my life can be pinpointed a lot to my childhood, right? Unaddressed trauma, things that happened to me as a kid that I wouldn't wish on anybody, right? Whether it been like abuse or whatever. But you have to sit in it, right? There's this guy, Jordan Peterson, he talks about how you have to sit in uncomfortable thoughts, right? So in the past year or so, after that breakup that I went through, I've been focusing a lot more on bad experiences that I've had in my childhood and how it affected me and reliving those moments. Because for a lot of people that have been through trauma, think like war veterans, right? People that were in like a crazy war where they were doing things that weren't humane, right? They say they went to a war for a certain reason. You realize you're not there for the actual reason, right? It could be some ulterior motive, right? They have trauma, right, from the things that they've experienced and the things they've probably even done. And what your brain can do, especially when you're young, to help you process this trauma, it will try to create a story or a narrative for you, or it may help you just to delete or block out memories. There's periods of my childhood where they were very like shaky. I couldn't really remember or pinpoint certain things. And I have a really good memory. Like I don't really forget things. I have a pretty decent memory, especially like visually photographic things. I could like replay it in my head of how the experience happened, right? There was moments in my childhood that were blocked out due to a traumatic event that happened to me. And only until this year, last fall, 27 years old of age, right? Things that happened to me from somewhere between 4 and 6, the time periods kind of messed up in my head because of what happened, that I actually sat down and relived that moment, right? Accepted the fact that it happened and tried to process it and move on from it, right? There's going to be things in your life that you don't want to sit with. There's going to be some things in your life you don't want to face head on, but you have to, right? Especially as a man, you're going to have to face your fears because the things that you are so afraid of dealing with and facing, being afraid of it sometimes makes them come true, right? Because you're so afraid of being cheated on, right? You're so insecure, you're so worried, you're accusing, boom. Okay, now you got cheated on, right? Oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna fall off. You're overthinking it. Okay, you fell off the ledge, right? With these things, whether it be trauma that you have to deal with that you're afraid of processing, whether it be the dark that you're afraid of because of what's in the unknown, you're going to have to face it, right? Going back to a little basic topic, I used to be afraid of roller coasters. I thought they looked super cool as a kid. But the idea of going in a freaking loop upside down scared me, right? My uncle forced me on a roller coaster, and I'm so glad he did because when I got on it, I was crying the whole time. I closed my eyes for most of it. But after that roller coaster ride, guess what? I asked to do it again because that's how fun it was. And our fears can keep us back from experiencing so many good things. Fear is a very good tool. It's a very good emotion that we've developed as mammals, as humans, to be able to, stay alive and prevent dangers and escalations. But it can also hinder you and hold you back. So I implore you, if you're not facing your fears or doing things that challenge you, doing things you'd be afraid of, what are you doing? Because you're not really going to grow if you're just doing things that you're comfortable with and being safe. Like, you got to go out and take some risks, right? Life is a gamble. I'm not telling you to gamble your life away, take risks that way. Also, sorry if I'm sweaty, I get glistening. Your boy's bald. I was afraid of going bald too when I was younger. But, like, I cut the hair off. Apparently, I got a good looking head. And, yeah, I look fine. Right, I was afraid of losing my hairline. I thought it was a death sentence for a black man, especially being in LA. We put so much stress. It's mainly an online thing. So much stress on your hairline, right? My hairline is gone. The hairline is here now, and it hasn't affected anything in my life, right? I still have gotten promotions. I still have gotten romantic interests. My life is still fine. I'm here talking to y'all right now through the screen on YouTube. And I was afraid of it. So afraid when I was young. My hairline getting pushed back. Me losing hair. I used to have hair. I don't have hair anymore. And I love the way I look. I feel more confident. People tell me that I look better bald anyway. People tell me I can't even imagine you with hair. That's how good you look bald, right? Something I was so afraid of, but in reality it was so minuscule. So, dear listener, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of addressing? What are you afraid of doing? What are you afraid of starting? And when are you going to stop? When are you going to stop, and when are you going to start going after the things you actually want? I have been wanting to do more long-form content for a while. I did TikToks. I was making TikTok videos last year. And my ultimate goal was YouTube, like to create a channel and make videos. And I was so afraid to do so. I should have done it way long ago. I could have done it last summer, right? Imagine the motion and the amount of subscribers and support I would have had already had I just faced that fear a long time ago. TikTok, you get a lot of support off rip. But that platform, I just kind of don't support what they're doing right now. So I moved away from making TikTok videos. If you watched my first video, I talked about how I used to make TikToks. But I'm enjoying the content that I'm doing right now, and I'm a lot more happier. This feels way more fulfilling for me. Right? I'm talking into the camera. I'm being bold. This was something I was so afraid of. But after doing it and putting myself out there, it's not that scary. So, for you, listener, what are you afraid of? What are you going to do to change that? You got to face your fears. You become way more better because of it. It's a good thing to look at yourself in the mirror. If you're a man, I do support going to therapy, especially as a minority man. It's good to sit, process your feelings with somebody. I have family that are in the Marines that have been through some crazy stuff, and it's hard. We go through a lot of darkness. We go through dark moments. It can be tough, but you can face it. There is a way out of the darkness into the light, and it takes admitting it. It takes admitting the fear, and it takes facing it head on, because you can overcome it. You can win it. So I want to leave out on a good note. I've faced a lot of my fears lately. I've been becoming more bold, more confident because of it. I'll literally have so much more confidence. I can literally go out and talk to a girl if I want to because I'm not afraid of it. What am I going to be afraid of? A rejection? I already don't have that. I already don't have that girl or a girlfriend. There's no need for me to be afraid. So, your boy, AJ Breeze, I'm about to head out. But if you are afraid of something, face it. Head on. Like a man. Be a man. Peace.